So today I want to show you a clip that was posted to my subreddit. It's from Fox News. They're talking about how millennials are taking self-care and basically trying to kind of make a joke out of it. And then the guy on the right compares hungry dogs to obedient workers. But what they don't even realize is that they're playing themselves. They don't even know what they're saying. Let me play it for you. Look, I'm standing on an aircraft carrier with these headphones. Okay.
John, I want to ask you, though, about this idea of work-life balance. Have we taken that a step too far when you think of, well, a lot of the millennials talking about, well, I need time for self-care. I don't know why I'm harping on that tonight, but...
You don't know why you're harping on that tonight? Could it be maybe that you're reading a script that your overlords have written out for you and commanded you to say?
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets.
So again, tell me why you're not sure why you keep harping on this tonight, because it seems pretty obvious. Your overlords commanded, and you did as you were told. Obedient dog.
The whole self-care movement is a little... I mean, my mother's not with us anymore, but she worked by the time she was 12 during the Depression. If she heard the self-care thing, I think her head would explode.
I think that's right. I have a friend in the military who trains military dogs, Laura, and they only feed a military dog at night because a hungry dog is an obedient dog. Well, if we're not causing people to be hungry to work, then we're providing them with all the meals they need sitting at home.
This is the guy from the show Bar Rescue. They let him on TV to talk about politics. Don't you have some bars to go save or something? Actually, you can purchase one of his bars right now if you have $50,000 for his franchise fee and a startup cost of a minimum of $1.2 million. If you'd like to be a obedient, hungry dog for Mr. John here, this is what you can pay him for that opportunity to do so. They're playing themselves, like against their own agenda. And let me explain what I mean. Fox News is very pro-business, right? So there's this thing called EAP, which is Employee Assistance Programs. They're things like wellness programs. You have a gym, your company helping you work out, get fit. How many things like therapy do they offer? Does your company have any of those things? That's called employee assistance programs, and that is self-care. That's all self-care. So you over here working at Fox, what kind of benefits does Fox provide you outside of, let's say, healthcare and salary? Probably a lot of self-care. Providing wellness programs and doing things like this for your employees saves the company money. Let me explain. If you can get and prove that you have a healthier workforce than when you did before, it can lower your insurance premiums as a company. So if you have a healthier workforce and you're providing health insurance to them, you can save money as a business by kind of putting carrot on a stick in front of your employees saying, hey, here, go work out. It's good for you, right? And most employees are like, oh yeah, it's a win-win, right? I get fit, you save money. But it's a bit self-serving because I don't think companies would do it if they didn't save money, but food for thought. Anyways, Fox is very pro-business, and self-care and wellness programs actually save companies money, Laura. Did you know that? That seems like something you'd be interested in. Also, I know Fox is very, very pro-military, right? So the military actually has self-care recommendations. Just thought you might want to know that too. Here's one. The importance of practicing self-care during times of stress, provider self-care strategies, focus on physical wellness, blah, 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 right? So fuck, the military got self-care recommendations. What are you trying to poke fun at here? I know what you're trying to poke fun at, the lazy, entitled younger generation. But I do have another question for you, Laura. This is your Facebook, and this is you at what looks to be some sort of football game. Is this not self-care? It couldn't be self-care. That's different. That's recreation, right? It's not self-care. What about, you got a picture of your garden in here, Laura. Is that not self-care? I'm pretty sure gardening is one of those things specifically recommended to people to relax. You got like Zen gardens and stuff, regular gardens. Is this not self-care, Laura? You're playing yourself. Self-care is for everyone. We live in a society that has considered mental health optional. And I get what these sorts of people are doing on Fox. And what I found is, at least from older people, there seems to be a tendency to want to perpetuate bad things because they had to endure them, because that taught them a lesson about life and how hard it can be, or whatever the lesson was, but they think they had to go through it, so everyone else should too. You'll see it all the time. You'll see it everywhere. And I'm sure you've heard of the dad that's like, I walked 6 miles to school every single day, and blah, blah, blah. And it's always about, our life was harder. And unless you go through it, you can't understand. They're perpetuating mental health stigma by saying stuff like this. Do you not enjoy vacation, Laura? Do you ever say, man, I need a break? That's self-care. You know why we take self-care is because we don't actually get vacation. We get a whole 2 weeks usually. That's what most companies offer these days, about 2 weeks. The point I was trying to get at is you can teach someone a lesson without forcing someone to go through that entire situation and scenario, right? Like you're not gonna eat a poisonous fruit to learn the lesson that it's poisonous if someone says, hey, don't eat that, it's poisonous. Like, why would you do that? Like, in some scenarios, I understand you can't completely understand what they went through if you didn't do it, but is there a reason or rhyme? Now, I'm not a parent, but I have friends that are parents, and I don't think you have to be a rocket scientist to understand that most parents want to provide a better life for their children than what they had, at least when you ask most people that have kids, why did you have kids? I've always wanted kids, and I always wanted to give them what I didn't have, But then you see these same people going, well, what was all this self-care about? Well, I had to go through it, so you should have to go through it too. You just don't understand. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps. Like, why does everything have to be a comparison? Why can't we work together to move forward? I'm not trying to detract from whatever scenario or hardships those people went through. I'm sure the Great Depression was terrible. That's awful, right? I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So why do we compare people like they should have to go through that then? Yes, you had it rough. I'm not taking that away from you because I didn't have it rough. And I'm not trying to take that away from you by trying to make it easier for other people also to avoid that situation. So let's keep moving forward and try to make the world a better place. Like, why do we have to keep reverting back? Because it was hard for you, it has to be hard for me, or else we won't learn. Taking a day off for your mental health would be like, I guess to these people, they'd probably think that you're a pussy. Oh, we just can't handle it. Has to take a mental health day off. I think the people making fun of other people that take self-care days have so much self-care already on the day-to-day, they don't even realize it. They're so lost in the sauce. Here's another question for you, Fox. What about CEOs that go to reflect on their leadership practices, like the Better.com CEO? Is that not self-care? Does that not count? Now, I'm not saying that there aren't lazy, entitled millennials that have never worked hard, but there are lazy, entitled every generation. Let's be honest. Like, you want to poke at millennials? That's fine. Like, sure, yeah, there's some lazy, entitled people there, but there's lazy, entitled, crappy people everywhere. You just want to put a label on that group. Anyways, guys, that's today's video. Post on the subreddit r/corporate Kool-Aid. Again, it's news. News exists for attention. So they're going to say things that make you sad, make you angry, not so much make you happy. That's not clickbait. I mean, you guys know. I just thought it would be fun to dunk on them a little bit by throwing what they're saying back in their faces to make them look like the fools that they are. If you can appreciate that, hit that like button. Subscribe if you'd like to see me call out more of this nonsense. Hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you in the next one.